Doom Vivamus Vivamus Epicureans. This is the Marvel Epic Collection Podcast, one-shot edition. I'm your host, Nick Smith, and I'm joined by...
Stojr Shelf. How's it going, Nick?
Doing great as always. We are participating in Kurtis Findlay's Epic Marvel Podcast Reading Club, and this one-shot is going to be our brief thoughts on today's issue, which is, oddly enough, Iron Fist number 14. Snowfire. This is written by Chris Claremont, art by John Byrne, so a little continuity there with the X-Men. Inks by Dan Green. Let's see. Colleen Wing recruits Danny Rand, a.k.a. Iron Fist, to help with a job bodyguarding a Mr. Hogarth in the Canadian Rockies. The two find Hogarth had been captured by the mercenary Sabretooth, and after surviving being stranded in a blizzard, they are able to track down Sabretooth and his men, defeat them both, and recover Mr. Hogarth. All right, Stojr, what are your thoughts?
So I really like this issue. I'll be honest. This makes me want to go pick up the Iron Fist Epic collections. I enjoy. I mean, obviously the writing and the art is pretty solid. It's the same exact team that's now on X-Men as of the last issue. It shows off Danny's powers as this ninja. He's able to do some special mystical things, like, slow down his body temperature so that they control the cold. It's a decent introduction to Sabretooth, although he feels a bit underpowered to what he becomes. But that's actually a good thing because, a lot of forgettable villains, they come in strong and their debut is so overpowered that they can never live up to that, right? You get somebody like Null or even Carnage, right? Carnage came in and Spider-Man needed Venom for him, and then there was Maximum Carnage, and then where do you go from there, right? He's feels so overpowered, you got to feel like some way to depower him. So Sabretooth definitely gets a step up over time, but gets defeated by Iron Fist in this issue. I think it moves quick. It's it's a solid book. It feels like a real good sort of almost like a James Bond adventure, like a ninja James Bond adventure or something like that. You feel like I forget who was Bond in the 90s, but the one where he was skiing down the hill. You feel like it's like that.
Yeah, the GoldenEye guy, right? Pierce Brosnan,
yeah.
Is that right?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that is it.
All right.
So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I enjoyed this issue exactly for the things you said. I'm not sure why it's in this X-Men epic. It has to do with being the first appearance of Sabretooth, who of course becomes a major antagonist for the X-Men, Wolverine specifically. And I think we also get in the next issue, it's we get more Wolverine and more of the X-Men in there, and there's even a comparison of Wolverine to Sabretooth, and that's starting to set something up, right? So maybe that's the only reason why it's in here. I enjoy the martial art books, and having this one in particular take place in a setting like the snow-covered mountains is unusual for the genre, and it presents some interesting opportunities. Like you said, surviving the blizzard, Iron Fist going snowblind, which, not just a Black Sabbath song, right? So, really fun, really interesting. However, as I mentioned in the Morbius review, I hate it when authors tell a story in the second person. So that was happening, and that annoyed me. Now, I don't blame Claremont for this, because I think this was a style that was established when Iron Fist was first introduced in Marvel Premiere, which was being written by Roy Thomas, and I think Roy Thomas is a little notorious for that. Him and, I want to say Larry Hama, but I might be wrong about that. And I don't fully remember how exactly it started off. This is another one of those. I read the Essential volume 15 years ago, and I don't fully remember them anymore. But yeah, I would love to throw some Iron Fist on our reading list for the future. And then when it gets into Power Man and Iron Fist together, that's just that's wackiness that I enjoy.
Yeah. I'll have to find out if they still have those available, or if they're on eBay or something like that. My only Luke Cage or Power Man Iron Fist type of stuff is I think it's in shot behind me. Although when I try and look at it through the transverse things, it's up there. It's the Luke Cage Omni that I got at Ollie's for like $25.
Oh, nice.
So it's got the first 40 issues of Power Man or something like that.
All right, very cool. All right, any final thoughts, Stojr?
No, I mean, I'm looking forward to the next issue of Iron Fist. I really like when there's consistent art. So the fact that I don't feel like I jumped out of the X-Men too much because we just had Byrne drawing the previous issue, and the same writer and style helps with it too. So I'm looking forward to the next one.
Absolutely. Okay, well, if you enjoyed our thoughts, follow us on YouTube where we will read, rate, and review a full Epic Collection trade paperback every other week. Catch the audio podcast too if you prefer. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow.
Have a good one.